Before Zambia's independence, Zambia was ruled by the United Kingdom. This was before 1963, and at this time, Zambia was known as Northern Rhodesia. The United Kingdom ruled three countries, three regions, which was Zimbabwe, that's its now name, and it was, and then it was called Southern Rhodesia. And during this time, Malawi was known as Nyasaland. And so, during before manufacturing industries began in Zambia, Zambia was only given one economical role, which was to export minerals, and Zambia relied on that as foreign exchange, while Malawi provided labor for each two regions, which were Nyasaland, which were Southern Rhodesia and Northern Rhodesia. Southern and Northern Rhodesia. So, Southern and Northern Rhodesia. So Zambia exported the goods it manufactured to Zimbabwe, in which Zimbabwe manufactured all the goods, and it provided Zambia and Nyasaland with the finished goods for local needs. Though Zambia was allowed to have a few industries which were providing food processing, they had brewery industries, and also provided a few consumer items which were cigarettes, sweets, and biscuits. It also provided clothes, blankets, washing powder, bath soap, beer, flour, and a few local needs. This is the Okay, so after Zambia got its independence in 1964, this period saw the start of vigorous industrialization program, as they lagged behind in that criteria. So Zambia's aim in this program was to increase employment opportunities for Zambians, raise incomes for local people by providing provision for formal employment, reduce imports of manufactured goods, save foreign exchange, diversify the economy away from copper mining to agriculture and manufacturing and tourism. The government informed the Industrial Development Corporation (INDECO) to spearhead industrial development. INDECO went up to joint ventures with private capital to set up industries in food processing, textiles, sugar, and oil refining. By 1968, INDECO had taken over 68 companies, and the government became a major player in the economy by owning 51 of the holding shares of 51% of holding share of each company. Nationalization assured manufacturing industries with domestic market. The state imposed high tariffs on imported goods as imported goods as a way of preventing these from competing with locally produced goods. The government actually encouraged monopolies in the manufacture of goods. An example is each enterprise in Zambia each made their own goods. There was an enterprise that made bread, another enterprise that made beer, tires, cooking oil, and many more. So during the 1980s, the government formed a new organization which was known as Small Scale Industries Development Organization and the Village Industries Service (VIS). These were formed in order to increase manufacturing activities by targeting and developing small businesses in at the district level. These two organizations were formed in order to tackle the issue that they formed in the beginning of their independence, is that the manufacturing industries they made in the beginning led to monopolies and prevented other small scale businesses from beginning, and so they formed this organization. And as they increased this organization, though the organization mainly provided loans and insurance and other services to small businesses, it increased the economy and provided many employment opportunities for Zambians. So Zambia's economy increased steadily and was highly valued, and the manufacturing industries took up 30% of Zambia's national GDP. And but every good side has a downside, which is what my partner here is gonna talk about.
If you like this video,
Like and subscribe for more.
yeah, and comment as well. Yes, so as Zambia was growing at a steady rate in the early 1980s, and it reached 30% of its GDP, there was a decline due to Zambia exporting a lot of goods to its international countries, thereby Zambia Zambia in Zambia there was a great recession caused by this. That great recession that great recession is what led to the decline in Zambia's now economy. And in the early 1991s, something different happened. Yes, so in 1991, Zambia elected its new president after multipartyism was yeah, a single member state was changed into a multi-party state, where Frederick Chiloba became Zambia's new president. He brought about a change from nationalization to privatization, where every company was now owned by private investors. But the only problem was changing those monopolies into the private investor into private countries into private companies. They now had to start looking for private investors from Zambia who would take up the challenge of being their owners and see to it that it increases. That's when a lot of small companies started popping up, and in 2000, uh, Levin Mwanawasa was appointed as president, and he got debt from the IMF and restructured everything. He was also one of the leaders who was instrumental in Zambia's today economy, because he's the one who brought about a lot of economic reforms, and that is how Zambia is now one of the most crucial players, especially in the tourism and mining industries, as he got debt to 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 increase or expand these industries. Yeah, Zambia's GDP currently is rising at a steady pace, although in my opinion I think it is going too slow, that we might not be able to catch up to our counterparts like South Africa. Although Zambia has big partners in export and import such as Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, and China. Although I do think we can do better as long as we were to pump all of it into local investments. Yeah. So that is all we have from 1991 to present day. That is what is going on, but at least there is a change. Zambia suffered from a recession in 2019 again, but right now we're still recovering, and I believe by the time it's 2030, I think all this debt and all these manufacturing industries were multiplied times X times 10 to what they are supposed to be.